You've seen their logo here on Fox 13 all week with our Masters coverage. Washington Golf CEO and Executive Director Troy Andrew joining us on Seattle Sports Live. Troy, I'm going to get your take on the Masters, but first, Washington Golf. It's been around for 100 years now. Where did it start and what has it turned into?
It started in 1922, so 100 years ago, and it started at Yakima Country Club, the very first then men's state amateur championship. And people took the trains out from the west, headed east, and the first major sanctioned amateur championship started in this state.
So impressive. And what it is now, the prominence of the amateur tournaments that we see guys on the national stage now, how important have they become?
Really important. I mean, you see a lot of great players coming through the state of Washington, actually the Pacific Northwest. Fred Couples, Joel Damon, who's having a great career on the tour, Andrew Putnam, Ryan Moore. I mean, there's so many great players from the state of Washington that have come up through the rankings of amateur golf and Washington golf. And we're proud to call them our champions and players that started by playing amateur golf in the state of Washington.
100-year anniversary, centennial year this year. What kind of celebrations and events are you guys putting on this year that we need to be watching?
So it's going to be a year-long celebration for us. We published a book, a 100-year book, which just really establishes all the 100 years of golf in Washington. And so we're able to use a lot of great stories that go way back to 1922 throughout the year through social media and marketing. But we have a couple major events coming up towards the end of the year down at the home course in DuPont on September 25th. We're going to do a big centennial celebration down there, invite our members and anyone and everyone that wants to come out that day. And then we'll just incorporate in all our championships, especially our men's and women's championships this year as we conduct those.
Incredible to reach 100 years. It's really impressive.
Been fun.
Let's take it to Augusta. Let's talk about the Masters. The spotlight was on Tiger Woods all weekend long until really yesterday. 14 months removed from a serious car accident that apparently he almost lost his right leg. What did you see from him this weekend, and do you think he could get back to where he was?
Oh, well, let me say I hope he does, because it was phenomenal and very inspirational to see him out at the Masters this week, and I think he will. I mean, he's just such a competitor. He has some roots here to the Pacific Northwest because he won our Pacific Northwest Amateur in 1994, so we all have a special place in our heart for Tiger out here. He came out, played and won the Pacific Northwest Amateur, and then went on to win the U.S. Amateur. So we're rooting for him, and I hope to see him next year right at the top of the leaderboard. That would be really cool. Play
Washington Golf or Pacific Northwest Golf and win a world championship. That's basically what you're saying?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Let's talk about Scottie Scheffler coming into the tournament, #1 golfer in the world. An incredible finish, 10 under. What did you see out of him, and did he really create an impressive resume this weekend?
He did. It's been fun to watch him at the beginning of the year. He hadn't won a tour event, and then he wins, and it's just been escalating since then. And he just seems so calm and relaxed today going into the final round. And he's one of many that we've been able to, in Washington Golf, see amateurs come up through the rankings and now are playing professionally. And Scottie, too, played out here in the Northwest a few years ago at the Pacific Coast Amateur at Chambers Bay. So it was fun for us to watch him pull it off today.
Do you have favorite moments from the Masters this weekend? What really stood out to you?
You know what? I would say I really liked watching Rory come out and shoot, 8 under par today, and on the last hole, put it in the hole there for 64. That was a highlight, I would say. I thought he was going to push it right up and give Scottie a little test there at the end.
Absolutely. It was so fun to see. He said he knew he may not have played his well enough to beat Scheffler, but who did?
Right.
I mean, that was incredible. Good for Rory McIlroy. The last thing from me, becoming a member of Washington Golf, how does that process work, and what are the benefits?
So it's pretty simple now. You just go online at wagolf.org, and there's a join button, pretty prominent. And there's a lot of benefits. A lot of people join Washington Golf to get a handicap, which is really a way to track your scoring and your average and how you're playing. But we run 14 amateur championships, so we have events for the more prominent players, for men and women, seniors, juniors, And then we have casual days. We have casual golf days for casual golfers. We have a net 4-ball tournament where you can team up with a partner and play other people around the state. And we have a youth on course program for the youth that can play for $5. We give discounts and many other benefits. We have a digital golf pass. So there's a plethora of benefits for the golfing community and really golf for everyone.
Lots of options.
Yes.
Love to hear it. Best way to get out on the course, and no better way to be humbled than play a round of golf. Troy Andrews, CEO and Executive Director of Washington Golf. We so appreciate you coming in.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.